Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're listening, good day, good afternoon, whatever. It is August 5th, 8:34 a.m. here in sunny Southern California. I hope everybody's having a great week. It's already Thursday, or as I like to call it, Friday Eve. And so y'all are almost freaking to the weekend. Let's go. I'm hyped this morning. I'm a morning person, if you couldn't tell. I don't like to lollygag in the morning. I like to get up and get after it. I hope you guys like to do the same. Some people are night owls. Some people are morning people. There's benefits to being both. I just happen to I can't wake up in the morning and then lay there for a while. It messes me up all day. I'll be messed up. So I gotta, as soon as my alarm goes off, I turn off that alarm and I get up and I just get after it. The Olympics are still happening, and there's so much Olympic news. At first I was trying to keep up with all of it, and it's just impossible, guys, especially with this time zone. I talked about it yesterday. It's hard with this Japanese time zone, man. I actually spent quite a bit of time in Japan, about 6 or 7 months, give or take, in Japan, and that time zone is rough. As the Olympics is happening, I remember they're talking about this is the least watched, or the ratings for the Olympics are way down. I think it's because it's not we have to get up at 1 a.m. to watch it live. That just ain't it. I don't think it has anything to do with politics. I think it's literally just the time zone of it all. Well, let's give a little update on the medal count here. We got China still in the lead of gold medals. The United States kind of closed the gap a little bit. And then Japan's in third place. China has 34 gold, the United States 29 gold, and Japan has 22 gold. For total medals, though, United States is blowing it's not even close. It's literally, it's legit not even close. The next closest person in total medals is China. The United States has 91 total medals. That's wild. And then China has 74. That's the closest, way distant second. I've been seeing, I want to address this real quick. Just explain my stance. I've been seeing a lot of people, I don't know if they're anti-America. I don't know what they are. But it's, there are people that are saying, well, China's number one, not United States. Their news is manipulated, because they'll show the news and it has America on top with total medals, and then it'll show China, and then it'll show Russia, I think, or whoever. And it's the news is manipulating the count to show that United States is on top, and I'm like, whoa. They're just going by total medals. We're going by total medals. United States is in the lead. And if we wanted to break this down into a point system, let's say you give 10 points to gold medal, 8 points to silver, 5 points for bronze. I believe the United States would still be on top with that, because we're only 5 gold medals behind, and we have so many total medals that I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. If you want to go by, let's say if there was a difference of 1 gold, let's say there's a difference of 5 total medals, then yeah, go ahead and come down to gold medals to see the winner is. But it's not that we have a lot of bronze either. We have a lot of silver as well. We have quite actually more silver than everybody. Um, so I don't know. It kind of depends on how you look at it. Just want to give a shout out to the recent followers that we got since the last show, which was yesterday, to today. We got Sooner Fans 1 on Twitch and Gearwood G on Twitch. Welcome in, guys. I'm excited about the live audience growing. I'm excited about the live audience growing. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, we might be losing frames here on the stream. It's good. We're good now. We're good. We're good. Let me make sure we're still we're good. We are good. Let's go. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to address that the news isn't manipulating anything. It is what it is. We have the most medals. And then it's followed by China, and then followed by the not Russia. I'm gonna call them Russia. It's the Russian Olympic Committee or whatever. It's Russia. Russia's technically banned from the Olympics, so they can't fly the flag. But the athletes are from Russia, so be that what it may. I'm excited to talk to you guys today, as every day. If I'm not excited to do this anymore, I'm gonna stop doing it. So every day I'm gonna have energy. Well, maybe not energy, but every day I'm gonna be excited and motivated to talk to you guys. Did I just say the word motivation? I did. Today I just wanted to. I've heard there's so many people that talk about success, and people who are way more successful than I am, give their tips and tricks and those motivational talks and blah 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 blah. But then there's some people on social media who haven't done anything, and all they do is social media, and they somehow try to give you motivational speeches, and I don't know. There's so many types of way of communicating that there's different things that speak to different people, right? There's different ways to inspire, motivate, entice, and get people to get up and get after it. I'm the kind of person that I've realized that with athletics specifically, I'm kind of new school technique with old school work ethic. What does that mean? Well, I keep up to times with the science, and I keep up with the best ways of not only training but also how to execute well on the field when it comes to playing football or doing anything really. However, I have the same old school work ethic mentality where it's, I'm hurt, I might be hurt but I'm not injured, or keep going until I actually can't anymore. I'm gonna be there every day on time early. I'm gonna do the extra. I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna go as hard as I can on every set, on every rep, on every drill, on every lift, whatever. But I mean, there's kind of like the old school coach, right, who is stuck in the old ways of like, you got to just be hard and tough, and it's my way or the highway. You got to do it my way. But he's not up to date on the science of how to like train better or make his athletes better or how to do something on the field better, right? So I feel like for me, I've learned to combine that old school be tough mentality with new school technique. And that's a phrase that I coined, I made it, I've come up with for myself over, coming back out of the Marine Corps, back into playing football at a college, and being around different coaches again, being around players and like an actual team, a successful team. And I figured out my niche. At first I came off as like I was too old school, like I'm just like the tough brute kind of guy. I'm a little intimidating. I had a hard time connecting with my fellow players. And then I realized that I have my own niche. Like the new way of doing things isn't how it used to be, right? And so I had to learn how to kind of like portray myself, because I was kind of unsure how to go about things, right? So that's just what I came up with. New school technique with old school work ethic. That's me. But today I want to talk about why motivation won't make you successful. You cannot be successful with motivation. Okay? Being successful is a long-term game. It's like the long haul, right? You can have some short-term immediate success, right? Like you make a good sale, you have a good day performing on the field, you know, I don't know, just like short-term success. But really, in reality, when it comes to life, success is a long-term game. I think we'd all agree with that. By the way, if you're watching on Facebook right now, there's word on the street that there is problems with viewing on Facebook right now. So if you would like to switch over to Twitch or to YouTube, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. To the listeners listening right now, maybe on the podcast after the fact, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure you follow on those platforms. Whatever platform you want to watch on, just pick one, follow it. You don't have to follow on 3. If you like to follow on 3, do it. Cool. But make sure you guys support the show. And I'm so thankful for you guys. Seriously, I'm going to take a minute to thank you guys. You guys are seriously amazing. If you're listening, if you're watching, I appreciate you. The way you guys have supported has been amazing. Just make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe. I'm not asking for any money. I'm not asking for any like monetary support. Just get the word out so you get more people in here, and then let them determine if they like it or not to stick around. Anyways, moving on. You will not be successful just on motivation. Let me explain. Okay. So motivation should just kind of be the icing on the cake, right? The way you're going to be successful is with dedication, discipline. Okay? Those are the things that are going to get you successful at anything. Being dedicated, meaning you're going to trust the process of whatever it is. If you're trying to get in shape and you're trying to work out, look, I have personal training background. I've trained people of like all skill levels, all like backgrounds of like athletics, like people who've never played a sport to people who are literally professional athletes. MMA fighters, football players, baseball players, you know, stay-at-home moms, average Joes, stay-at-home dad, like all of them. I've trained all types of people. I've trained with all types of people. And if you're trying to get to an end goal, like let's say you're trying to lose weight, let's say you're trying to get back in shape, maybe you are trying to be a professional athlete, you're not going to go to the gym day one and just absolutely slay yourself. Because then the next day, you're going to be too sore to do anything. There's a process, right? Voice crack. I swear I'm out of puberty. I'm not 15. There's a process, right? And you got to trust that process. That's the dedication of it. If you're building a business, you're not going to build that business into a Fortune 500 company in a week. There's a process. You're not going to wake up on Monday, start a business, and sell it on Friday for $1 million. I have heard of a story of something similar to that happening. One time it was a software company, or I think it was like an online development company, some kind. I don't know technology that well, but hey, it does happen. But for the most part, that doesn't happen. There's a process. That's the dedication. The discipline is you sticking to the process. Waking up on time, or waking up early, being on time. Maybe you got to stay late. Maybe you got to go the extra mile, doing every rep, doing every set, not skipping out. Those is what's going to give you long-term success. Motivation is going to fade. When you wake up on a Monday morning and you don't want to go to work, or you don't want to go to the gym, or you don't want to go to your business, you don't want to be a good dad, or you don't want to be a good husband, or you don't want to be a good wife, it's the dedication, it's the discipline that's going to bridge that gap when motivation ceases, because you will wake up and you won't be motivated sometimes. My life has been dedicated to being like fit, okay? Whether it's because I'm playing sports, I'm in the military, whatever. And there are some days I am, quite frankly, just not motivated. Sometimes I fake it till I make it. On the football field, during practice, you will never see me at least not portray that I'm motivated, because that's what I do. I kind of fake it till I make it sometimes. And then sometimes I get there. Sometimes I get motivated. I have discipline. I have dedication. I have vision on the end goal, and I trust the process. Like I said, motivation just should be icing on the cake. Motivation should just be sometimes it gives you that extra boost. I'm not saying to not have motivation. If you do find to where you're never motivated to do something, then you're probably doing the wrong thing. But sometimes motivation is going to fade, even if you're doing what you love. Some days you're going to wake up and you're just not going to feel like doing it. I'm sure Tom Brady, every single day of his football career, when he woke up, every single day, he's been in the league for what, 20 years now? He's turning 44 years old. I'm sure every single day he didn't wake up motivated, but he's dedicated. That dedication and discipline probably turns into motivation, especially when you get going. Like today, I'm not gonna lie to you, today, this morning training at the gym, I wasn't like out of it, but I wasn't like completely motivated. I was kind of like, I gotta get there, get my thing. But then after I got going, I got a little motivated, you know? So don't ride on motivation. Do it, and also be disciplined and have dedication for yourself. If you do it for someone else, you're gonna fail them. Right? Do it for yourself. Because also they might fail you, and you're not gonna want to reciprocate that success. Do it for you. And you might be listening to this right now, and it can apply to anything. It can apply to multiple things. Maybe you're like listening, you're like, well, I'm doing my own business and I'm trying to get in shape, or I'm trying to be a good mom, or I'm trying to be a good dad, or I'm trying to be a good spouse, or whatever. It applies to all those things. It's not a one avenue type of approach, right? You could have 3 or 4. Look, I play football. I have this podcast. I kind of still stream video games. I'm a husband. I'm a stepdad. I'm a student. Look, I got those 5 things. I just kind of right then that I work at. Okay, and all those things, although they take different priorities and different precedences, I apply those simple, dedication and discipline to all of those things. This show, I do at least 4 of these shows a week, Monday through Thursday. Unless there's some sort of outside circumstance that requires me to be somewhere else, I'm going to be doing this show at least 4 times a week, and sometimes on Saturdays, depending on if I can or not. I have my stepson on Saturdays, so that's why I don't do this show on Saturdays. So, just remember, some days you're not going to be motivated, and that's okay. That's completely fine. You're not losing it. You might still be on that path. But motivation fades. Motivation comes and goes. If you, like I said, if you're in if you have caught yourself in situations to where you don't have motivation, then you might be, you don't ever have motivation, they might be in the wrong thing. I just saw this chat, Isaac. I just saw Isaac on Facebook said, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. That is a very true statement. However, there are exceptions. Sorry, my Facebook chat I just realized was collapsed. I was wondering why I could see I had people coming in, and I was like, nobody's really saying anything on Facebook? Sorry, Isaac, I just saw that. I'm going to go ahead and like this. Hard work beats talent when talent brings hard work. Great quote to bring up. Does anybody remember who said that? Like, who was the first one to kind of coin that? I believe it was a basketball coach. Basketball is one of those sports that there's a lot of skill, but there's also a lot of hustle. So I think that might have been a basketball coach. And again, that's a long-term game. If you're a younger athlete in this really applies to you. I think it's Jerry Rice might have said, well, I heard talking about this. So there's an issue that young athletes face when they're the best one at their high school, or maybe the best one, like when they're in high school, they're the best one at their high school, maybe the best one in the state, or best one in the area at whatever they do, whether it's basketball, football at their position, I don't know, whether track, whatever, is that because they are so talented, because they're so good at a young age, they might not have to work as hard to be successful, right? And they can kind of turn it on and off. And they think that they can always do that. They think that there's always going to be that switch that they can turn it on and off. When in reality, when you get to the next level, that's not true. And that person who has to work hard to be successful, to work way harder than that person will be successful, to be successful, will get better at whatever it is. And that person will then begin to surpass that super talented early bloomer. If that person that had all the talent, if that young kid that had all the talent doesn't work hard. And it is a thing, it is an issue. It is an issue. I just realized that we're on medals. So it is an issue that young athletes face when they are just so successful at a young age that they don't have to work hard. Hey, what up? Hey, what up in the Twitch? How you doing? Follow if you can burp. That's a funny name. I can burp, if that's what you're trying to say, but I'm not going to burp because this is a podcast, and it'll be uploaded as an MP3 onto Spotify or Anchor. I'm not going to burp in people's ears, especially if they're listening in the car or something. Hey, you followed. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for the follow, if you think you can burp. Or if you can burp. I was really distracted by your username. Funny username. Young athletes that are successful will, and if they don't work hard because they don't have to, and it kind of messes with their psyche, right? Because they've always been successful and they don't know how to handle adversity when they're not. The whole point of the podcast is that I don't edit it and it's not uncut. I can't do that. Here, I'll burp away from the mic. Is that better? Is that good for you? Okay, cool. So, I don't necessarily blame that athlete. I blame the people that coach them, that the ones that are very successful, like let's say in high school, and then get to college or maybe the NFL and fall off. I blame their leadership. I blame the people that mentor them. I don't necessarily blame the athletes. I did it away from the mic. That's why I was weak. That's a very good quote. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. That's the long-term game is what we're talking about. That dedication, that discipline. That's the long-term play. Leadership can help. A proper leadership, a proper mentorship can, like you falling under proper leadership, you falling under proper mentorship can help you in the long game. I don't have like right now in my life, I guess. When I was younger, I had a mentor. At this point in my life, I can't say I really have a mentor, but I do have coaches that I follow and I am like, I guess, loyal to, I guess you can say. And they definitely, like my head coach on my football team and my college, he definitely has spoken into my life this past summer, or not necessarily into my life necessarily, but we talk and I listen to what he says, and a lot of it has to do with off the field stuff. And on the field stuff, I try to be coachable because I know that that's going to help me in the long term. Sometimes it's hard because I've had success doing things my own way, and they have a different way of doing things, and I have to trust the process with the coaches in order to remain successful and to keep progressing. If you're not progressing, you're most likely backsliding in anything. Very rarely is maintaining truly maintaining. Very rarely is maintaining truly maintaining. I look at it like this. Life is always like a car going up a hill. And in order to maintain, you might have to go in neutral, go in park. But it's always going to roll back just a little bit. If you're not pressing on that gas going up the hill, you're going to roll back just a little bit. In order to maintain, you got to keep some foot on the gas. Have you ever driven a stick shift going up a hill? You know exactly what I'm talking about. In order to prevent you when you put that clutch in to go up the hill, you got to freaking stomp some gas into there. In order to prevent from rolling back and freaking hitting the person behind you. Funny story. I have a funny story. You're going to want to listen to this about. So there's laws in Texas about when you're as like a driver, when you're driving. I see that I have 2 comments on the Facebook stream right now, and I can't see the other comment, so I don't know what's going on. So if you're watching on Facebook, maybe switch over to the Twitch or to the YouTube, hit that like button, and then dip out and go to one of those other platforms. I apologize. Something is up. I noticed I was watching some other streamers this morning, and I noticed that they were having issues with their live stream as well. So I was kind of worried that I was going to have the same issues, and it looks like I am. So it's not me, it's Facebook. Okay, I have a funny story that you're going to listen to. My best friend. Okay, so there's weird laws in Texas, right? If you rear end somebody, if the front of your car hits the back of someone else's car, it is like 100% of the time your fault. Like pretty much no matter what. And here's where I know that. So my best friend was in a drive-thru. We were in high school, new drivers. I think he was like 17. He was in the drive-thru, I think at McDonald's. And the drive-thru was taking forever. He ordered his food and it was taking forever. And he was like, you know what? I'm out. Like, I don't got time for this. I'm a high schooler. My life's important. I'm going to bail out. So he puts his car in reverse to back up and, you know, get out of the drive-thru. As he puts it in reverse, he looks back, steps on the gas, boom, hits somebody. I don't think it was very hard, but it was enough to make the person behind him upset. So he, with the back, like front end hits a car. What do you call that? He backed into a front of a car. He rear-ended himself, basically, is what he did. Okay. So the lady, I believe it was a lady, you know, contacts insurance. They go through the whole bit, and, you know, they think it's his fault. Turns out that in the state of Texas, it is actually that person's behind him. It's still their fault because they said that they did not give him enough room to back up and get out. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So I was like, you mean to tell me we could be somewhere, anywhere on the road, and if I go in reverse and I rear end myself, like I back into someone, it is still their fault if I hit the very front of their car? And they said yes. And I was like, that is absolutely amazing. Why don't more people exploit that for insurance fraud? And people said they do. And I was like, oh. Anyways, funny story. That actually happened. I'm not exaggerating on that story even a little bit. Yeah. So anyways, be careful on being too close to someone in the drive-thru in case they would like to back out and do something else besides stay in the drive-thru. Give them enough room to back up and get out. I was thinking about something today at the gym. I saw Dr. Fauci up on the screen again for like the millionth day in a row, it feels like. I feel like I see Dr. Fauci on the TV every time I go to the gym, or every time I go anywhere. Dr. Fauci is always on the TV. I'm seeing him talk about how, you know, the subtitles say the the headlines say, or whatever say this, say that, that the Delta variant is going around and it's making the people are younger and sicker, whatever that means. I'm pretty sure you're either sick or you're not. You're either hospitalized or you're not. I begin to wonder. I see Dr. Fauci every day giving us advice, and he always says the study says this, research says that, and I'm beginning to wonder, how does a man who's on TV every single day, Dr. Fauci, have the time, the proper time, to do proper research and proper studying of the virus he is consoling us about? I'm going to go out on the limb and say he doesn't. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dr. Fauci is not actually researching. He is not actually gathering his own data. I'm going to say that Dr. Fauci is maybe swayed by some political leanings. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and say that Dr. Fauci shouldn't be the guy we should be listening to. The people who were the biologists and the people who were actually studying the core, like when I say the core of the virus, I mean like actually under a microscope looking at the virus, who were quiet for months studying the virus and then coming out with peer-reviewed studies of the virus itself. Maybe we should listen to them. We shouldn't listen to some the quote-unquote expert on this disease who is behind a camera every single day. And supposedly if this virus, if we're learning so much about it every day and it's advancing every single day and there's so much happening every single day that's different in new news, then he shouldn't be the one. There's no way he would know except unless other people are telling him. And we all know that the second-hand source is always the worst. The third-hand source is always the worst. The fourth-hand source is always worse. And no telling what hand source Fauci has. Fauci could be 2, 3, 4, 5 down the line. Fauci is a figurehead. He is a doctor. He might have previously done studies, but he's in charge of stuff now. He's not boots on the ground anymore. I doubt when was the last time you think Dr. Fauci looked in a microscope? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't even know if he ever has done that. I'm not criticizing him, his knowledge on whatever his expertise is in. I'm kind of criticizing our media and the people who blindly and religiously follow this guy. There are people who literally think that Fauci is some sort of savior. Literally. I've seen comics, I've seen signs, I've seen people paint their bodies saying, "Thank you, Dr. Fauci." Dr. Fauci hasn't done anything for you. Dr. Fauci has not done one thing for you. He's spoken into cameras. He's getting paid tons of money. He has capitalized monetarily on earnings for this, for COVID. He has capitalized on expanding his name, profiting off his name, I bet. You realize that the Wuhan lab was funded partly because of Fauci. And there's a reason why the lab leak theory was, the bad thing to talk about. It was so pro-Trump to talk about the lab leak theory, and you were literally kicked off social media. You were you're slandered for sharing misinformation. Even though there was actual biologists that said that this is not a natural virus. If you look at it cellularly, there is things about this virus that does not seem normal and that it has been manipulated in a lab. And you couldn't say that. But now, months later, after Trump's not president, now we can talk about the lab leak theory. It's not really a theory at this point. It's more of like it's the lab leak scenario. It's not a theory. They're talking about it still as if it's like some far-fetched thing or some conspiracy that we're talking about it leaking from a lab. It's not a conspiracy. Well, I mean, maybe if it was leaked from a lab, maybe that part's a conspiracy of how it was leaked, why it was leaked. I have some far-fetched ideas of why it was leaked. Actually, it's not even far-fetched. I just don't know why more people aren't talking about it. And the fact that the news isn't talking about it means that it's probably somewhat true. Look, I'm not here to talk about, like, I'm not saying that the guy's not even, I'm not even saying that he's not smart. Look, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we keep platforming a guy and, like, trusting our lives with a guy who, for the past year and some change, has done nothing but be behind a camera. He's done nothing but, like, I don't know, like, say that we shouldn't do free American things. He said that we shouldn't have 4th of July. Yet President Obama can have a birthday party with 500 people. If you think I'm lying to you, let's Google it. Obama. I'm just gonna type in Obama. I typed in Obama. Look, I typed in Obama, and Obama birthday party came up right there. Look, boom. We're on Bing, by the way, not Google, because long story. Oh, they canceled it. Oh yeah, within the past 24 hours. There was 500 people. Oh, because he had political people. He was going to plan on having 500 plus people at his birthday, and then they scaled it back to family and close friends for his 60th birthday. There was people. Look, he was going to have a big birthday bash, but it got leaked. The story got leaked that he was having a bunch of people to his place. I'm going to tell you this. The people who are telling you to stay home, the people who are telling you you can't work, the people who are telling you to mask up and stay inside, the people who are telling you that have not changed their lifestyle whatsoever. The quote unquote leadership who we've entrusted, who we voted in. Asher with the follow on Twitch. Welcome in. They have not changed their lifestyle whatsoever. It is actually appalling to me how people aren't reading through the lines of this, how they're not seeing their politicians being caught, by the way, being contradicting, lying. I talked about this yesterday, but how Gavin Newsom, this is like months ago, like almost a year ago now, was caught in public at a restaurant, no mask, having a dinner party, no distancing, no nothing, indoors, and he literally lied. He said that it was outdoors, it was just like a small group of people, we were distanced, and it was none of those things. None of those things. Zero of those things happened. It's sad. That's what bothers me, is the lack of trust we've begun to have in our leadership, and yet they're still in charge. I'm not saying that we got to do something crazy. We just have to actually take our voting rights seriously. We got to take our freedom seriously. We can't give up our freedoms in order for short-term safety, because you never know when they're going to have another emergency and take away more freedoms. Like, that's not how this works. Okay. What we talked about today. We talked about motivation. You're not gonna be successful off motivation alone. Dedication, discipline. That's what's gonna keep you successful. That's what's gonna get you successful. Anything you do, and even if it's like subcategories of life, it's a long-term successful game. That's what you're playing. A long-term game for success is what you're playing. You will not be successful on motivation. You'll be successful on dedication, on discipline. Motivation is going to fade. Motivation will escape you. But you can trust the process. You can decide with discipline that you're going to keep going after your goal. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank all the supporters we've had. A reminder, The podcast is uploaded uncut, unedited onto Anchor, which then distributes it to Spotify and all sorts of different, whatever listening. I want to thank the people, the newest followers on Twitch, Asher B Gaming. I guess I'm having lag on the chat for Facebook. I'll figure that out. I'm pretty sure it's a Facebook issue because I noticed it earlier, so I can't see your guys' comments right now. I apologize. Make sure you guys follow. If you guys are listening on the podcast, make sure you follow on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube. It's JJ's live show on all those platforms. I managed to lock in those names. Also, if you like this track, if you like this music that I've been using for the show, make sure you go to Streamables on Spotify. It's copyright free. My buddy makes it. You have his permission to use it on your live shows, on your podcast, game streamings. You want to make videos on YouTube? He's on YouTube Music. You can use this music on anything you want. Use it. All you got to do is go to Spotify, go to YouTube Music, type in Streamables, and he has like 3 or so albums. I think he's coming out with another one this week. I can't even keep up. Or if you want to just use it to work to, there's like some lo-fi vibes with this, and you can like use it as background music to work with, or work during while it's playing, or whatever you want to call it. All right, guys, I appreciate all the support. Make sure if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or whatever platform you're watching on. Just follow on that platform. Do what you got to do to get the word out. I want to see you guys back in here. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. I won't have a show with you guys. Maybe we'll do one on Saturday. I might be able to do one this Saturday. So, all right, guys, until next time, catch you on the flippity flip. Peace. Hook 'em. Deuces. Have a good day, y'all. Let's go. Get after it.